can go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and get started. As I mentioned before, this is the PowerPoint that we'll be using, and in the lower left-hand corner, you can download that PowerPoint. We have some instructions that we'll be using a little bit later, just when we make sure that everybody is able to access the tools that they need to access, and you can take notes on it and so forth. So we are going to go over the site management tools, user management tools, and reporting. We're going to check to make sure that people can get into their LMI WorkNet account and access the tools that they need. And then we'll talk about some next steps. So to get started, we're going to take a look at the tools in the site administration menu in your Workforce Partner account. Now, not everybody has access to these tools. You're going to learn more about that and who has access to the tools as we move forward. These are the tools that we have as of today, but I want you to keep in mind that it's important to follow LMI WorkNet, whether you're doing it via social media or making sure that you get our emails, because LMI WorkNet does offer many training opportunities, as well as keeps you informed of the updates that are happening within LMI WorkNet. And we are getting ready, we are in the process of a significant upgrade or redesign of LMI WorkNet. So, but today, the information that you're going to collect today will help you with the immediate need to update information. We're going to go ahead and start out within Site Admin menu. We're going to take a look at site management and why that's important. Your sites are already in LMI WorkNet. We know that because you have LMI WorkNet account, and you are have been invited to participate in this webinar. But I do want to give you a little bit of background knowledge on how the sites are added into site management and why it is so important, and why do we refer to it as the supporting backbone of the workforce partner pathway. For one thing, each of the locations that are entered into LMI WorkNet as an LMI WorkNet partner, they're either one of two types of sites. They're either an access site or a dissemination site. An access site is a site that allows, or that provides, I should say, computers so that your customers, whether it's a general public or a specific group of customers, to access LMI WorkNet at that location. If you're an access site and you're open to the general public, the information that is provided in your site management, let's say profile, is shared to LMI WorkNet users through the Find a Location Near You search. That search is available in LMI WorkNet, and it's also available in our new Job Prep app that's available for Android devices. So we'll take a look at, we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. The information that is in site management is also used, it's used as to associate you with a location. So we have your work contact information, and the information is used for your customer groups. It's used within communications, so that it pulls your contact information as a signature whenever you use some of the communication tools within LMI WorkNet. It's used to make sure that you can access reporting, and it's also site management. A partner can submit a request to become a partner. They can do that even if they don't have a Workforce Partner account. They can use the option 1, which creates an account for them and sets up their LMI WorkNet site. You can take a look at it and approve it, and then they are an LMI WorkNet site upon approval. Or if you happen to be a Workforce Partner and you need to set up a site for another location, then you can use the site wizard This is available on the Workforce Partner homepage. We also have the site management form, and for the LWIA coordinators and LWIA managers, this is where you could enter in site information. The site management form is also for all of you that are on line with us today. Whenever you update your site information, it will be in the site management form, and we'll take a look at that. And so for the majority of you, your sites are already in Illinois WorkNet, and for the majority of you, those were added automatically through IWDS. So if you're going to update your site information, there are certain fields that you update within Illinois WorkNet that you can update at any time. And then there are certain fields that are locked. And the reason why they are locked is that information comes directly from IWDS. So whenever IWDS is updated, then Illinois WorkNet is automatically updated. These are just some little flows to show you what happens with the site wizard. Basically, if a site wants to become a WorkNet partner, then they submit the request. They get an email to say, are you sure you want to submit this request? They say yes. And the email is sent to the coordinator, and the coordinator reviews the information and approves or denies the request. Now, as I mentioned before, if you're a coordinator or a manager, you have access to setting up new sites, and you can do that through the form, through site management, where it says to add a site. Now, for many of you, some of you will have access to sites that say that they are WorkNet sites in this column where it says sourced. Now, a WorkNet site is entered into site management either through the site wizard that we talked about, or directly it's been added directly into the form. Many of you are associated, or you're linked up, your account is linked up with an IWDS site. That means that your site was entered automatically through IWDS. Okay, so the location is synced with IWDS, and if you have access to or you have a case manager role and so forth within IWDS, then your account was most likely created through IWDS, or if you already had one because you've been with us for a while, then it was connected to your IWDS account. So they're all synced together. Now, many of you have been sites for a while. Some of you are new to this information. But I did want to point out that whenever you log into your Workforce Partner account, you have various resources that are available to you. There's quite a few, actually. One of those is to, just to get started with setting up your WorkNet site. We have instructions that are available to you. That's on the center of your page, very first step. Instructions for setting up your location. That includes providing you with information and ideas on how to direct people to Illinois WorkNet within your location. We have marketing materials that are available. We also have instructions for putting Illinois WorkNet either as your home page or an icon off your desktop, or even linking your website to Illinois WorkNet. That information is there for you. We also have a wizard tool, so if you'd like to set up Illinois WorkNet as your home page with your site-specific URL, and that way you can tell where the traffic's coming from specifically for your location, you can do that. That's available as well. And we're in the process of updating this page so that the LWIA 7, 8, 9 are all merged. But for at least at this very moment, everything's in the LWIA 7, and my programmer I know is working on that to merge that area. We also have a whole gob of resources that are available where you don't even have to be logged in to access these resources. There's a lot here that anyone administration, and that's what we'll be talking about today with these resources. You also have some additional tools. You have a single sign-on access to your Certified Only WorkNet Advisor, to content management if you choose to take the content management course. Those are available. And you also have access to marketing materials. So that kind of gives you an overview of some of the in general resources, but specifically you have a site, it's already in Illinois WorkNet, and now you know how some of the sites are added to WorkNet and so what the difference is. So when you go into site administration and you're thinking, why does this one say WorkNet and why does this one say IWDS? Now you know why. Okay, so we talked about site management. Now we're going to talk about user management. With user management, you'll only be able to see your role and any of the roles that are below you. User management makes sure that you have, you provide the access level that is needed to the people that are associated with your location. If I am an LWIA coordinator or LWIA manager, I can see all of the sites in my local workforce investment area. If I'm not an LWIA coordinator or LWIA manager, I can only see the site that I'm associated with and have been given access to, the sites I've been given access to. So most of you, the majority of you, have the organization admin role. The other people that are more than likely associated with your location have public viewer, and that's perfectly fine. That's the access level that most people should have. The difference is with your organization administrator and higher, which is organization administrator, LWIA manager, LWIA coordinator, those people have access to maintaining site information and reporting. So you can go into user management, and if you needed to give somebody an organization admin, maybe you're going on vacation and you needed to give somebody an organization admin right for an extended period of time, then you could go into user management and change their user role. Whenever you come back, you can come in and change them back to public viewer if you would like. Okay. Now, as I mentioned before, with access level, the LWIA manager and LWIA coordinator have access to the entire LWIA and to all the sites. Okay. I mentioned that you're one person, and you have access, you're associated with one location. One workforce professional account is associated with one organization. And that has, you have org admin role. Okay. Now, as we have grown and over time, we've made some changes to the site to allow one person, let's say one person is responsible for completing reporting for maybe 3 different locations. Well, your account is associated with your primary location, but we can give you access to multiple locations, okay? One account associated with one account can only be associated with one location. That's all taken care of user management. If you need one account associated with multiple locations, that has to be done in site management. And to do that, since you're only one person, your one account can only be accessed to your one site, then you need to go a role higher than you to either your LWIA coordinator or your LWIA manager, and you need to request. You need to let them know that you need to have access to multiple locations. Since they can see all of the sites in your local area, they can make you the primary contact on multiple locations. Once they make you a primary contact on multiple locations, then you have access to the users and to the reports for each of those locations. So I hope that makes sense. Okay. Now, whenever you have access, either as primary contact or org admin or higher, then you can access quarterly reports. Now, there's different types of quarterly reports, but based on the information that's associated with that organization, whether it's an access or dissemination, whether it's a workNet or IWDS, the system automatically provides you with the appropriate quarterly report for that location automatically. For those locations that are from IWDS, your integration quarterly report it measures the level of integration on 2 levels. If you're a LWIA manager or LWIA coordinator, you have access to the LWIA wide, because remember, they can access everything for their LWIA. So they have an LWIA wide area for quarterly report. Each of the site levels in that LWIA have access to their quarterly report, and that measures level of integration at the site level. For each of these WIA-funded sites that are access sites, they have a quarterly report that actually measures the level of integration and identifies it as either minimum, moderate, or extensive. Now, it unlocks the moderate. Once you've completed all the yeses for the moderate, then it unlocks extensive. There's also a section for you to add comments as well. Now these quarterly reports are available on the 1st of each month, and they are due by the 15th. So will they be available after the 15th? Yes, but technically they are due by the 15th. And if they are not completed by the 15th, then you'll get reminder emails that the quarterly report is past due. So just to make your coordinators and LWIA managers happy people so they don't get unnecessary emails, please have those completed by the 15th of the month. They'll be very happy coordinators. Then we also have in this menu activity reports. Now the activity reports at the site level, you can see your site quarterly reports. As an LWIA coordinator, LWIA manager, you can see you can have like a summary of your quarterly reports for your area, and you can also take a look at your site usage and so forth. So that's available in activity reporting. Now, and type them in, but let me get there we go. Let me go ahead and get my sharing pod open for you so you can take a look at my computer screen. And we're going to take a look at where to find some of these. Okay. So this is my Workforce Partner account homepage. And you can see I have my special tools that I have with my account. And I have my single sign-on tools. I also have a calendar of events so that I can see when upcoming webinars and different types of events are available. But today, specifically what we were talking about are those tools that are available in Site Admin. So if I click on Site Admin, then I see that I have Site Management. I'm going to go ahead and click on Site Management. Now with my screen, you'll see I have access to more information, and that's because my account is at the state level, so I can access the different why is it in that? What I hit? View sites. Should have a whole bunch of them. Let me log out and log back in because I might have, let me do this real quick. Sorry about this. Because it might have got all mixed up when I was looking at working with other accounts. So let me go ahead and log in. That is so odd. Alrighty. Something happened in the past few minutes. Okay, let me try it one more time. Okay. Oh, I know why. I was hitting LWIA 9 instead of LWIA 7. Okay, there we go. That's much better. Okay, so again, as I was saying, with my what you'll see is we have our site location, address. You can see if it's an access site. Again, access site is if they have computers available to either their customers or the customers and the general public. A workNet source means that they have been entered either by through the form or through using the site wizard. If they are a dissemination site, that means that the location does not have computers available to the customers or to the general public, but they still use LMyWorkNet and can direct their customers to LMyWorkNet. If it's an IWDS site, then that means that it was added to LMyWorkNet by IWDS, by a sync with IWDS. So I'm going to click Edit. The sites that you will see and have access to, you'll have an edit button, so you can go into that site and update the information. Now, if you're accessing an IWDS site, you'll see that there are some locations that have a padlock on them. That means that that information is locked, and it comes directly from IWDS. So you will not be able to update those fields. In order to do that, you will have to follow the policy and update IWDS according to the policy, and then that sync will occur and LMyWorkNet will automatically be updated. Below that, you can see we have a variety of other areas that can be answered for the location, and specifically it's important to make sure that these services that you provide are correct, updated and correct, as well as obviously making sure that your hours of operation and contact information, that's correct, because this will be used to populate the Find a Location Near You search in the website and the job app, and we want to make sure that we're sending people to the right locations. Under User Management, this is where you will be able to access the users for that location. If you, as I said before, everybody has the public viewer role. Many of you that are on the webinar today have the organization administrator role, and there are some that have the LWIA manager and the LWIA coordinator. LWIA manager and LWIA coordinator can access everything. Organization administrator, you can access your site information and anyone that has been identified, other sites that you've been identified as a primary contact. So then I'm going to take a look at the quarterly report. Under reporting, quarterly, and if you're an LWIA coordinator or LWIA manager, you'll see one of these where it says LWIA wide, questions A and B. And you can see they have 3 levels: minimum, moderate, or expensive. I can't click on moderate until I say yes to minimum. I can't click on expensive until I say yes to both of the moderates. Then I can click on expensive. So that's how it measures the level of minimal, moderate, or expensive. And that's really pretty simple for those. If it's not a WIA-funded site, then, and this is an example, this is if it's not a WIA-funded site, then it won't measure the level of integration. About that location and how they're integrating LMyWorkNet. So, but you don't need to worry about that because the system will automatically provide you with the correct type of report based on your site type. Okay. So let me go ahead. I'm going to stop sharing for now. And let's go ahead and go take a look at the next page or the next section. And this is our group check. So the reason for our group check is we did this with our participants this morning, and some of you have decided to join us again this afternoon, so that's great. But what we want to do, excuse me, is make sure that you can log into your Illinois WorkNet account. Once you're logged into your Illinois WorkNet account, can you access your site management? And so that you can and then click on edit to make sure that you can update your site information. And also click on quarterly for your quarterly report. So we make sure that you see the listing of sites that you expect to see. There are some people that need to be able to access multiple sites. And if you know that you're supposed to be able to access multiple sites, but you don't have access to that, then please, in the chat pod, let us know, because then we can make sure that you're the primary contact. We can talk with Phaedra to make sure that you're the primary contact for those locations to give you access to the quarterly reports. Okay, so we're just going to let you do that for a few minutes. Please use the polling questions. That way we can take a look and see who needs help with, accessing different areas. Okay, go ahead and do that. And then if you do have any troubles, then just let us know. You can enter that into the chat pod. What if your address is wrong? If your address is, okay, is it your address for your location, or is it your, what kind of address are we talking about? Address location. Is it an IWDS address location? Because if it is, and there are multiple sites, we moved our facility a year ago. Okay, okay. Okay, well, if you could, please go ahead and type in the name of your organization and the correct address, and we can get that updated. Now, if it's not an IWDS site, then you can go in and update that information yourself. What I want to make sure is that, especially in LWIA 7, there's just a lot going on in your area, and I want to make sure that, if there's another location, there's multiple locations, I just want to make sure that we have you associated with the right location so we're not creating a duplicate. So, but if it happens to be an IWDS location, we can give that information to Phaedra, and then they can take a look at it and make sure that IWDS gets updated. Okay, great. Okay. I'm on the home page. What do I click on next? Okay, you click on the site admin. Up in the top bar, should say site admin. If you're looking on the left-hand nav, it says site administration. Then once you click on site admin, you look at the left-hand navigation, and there's a one that says site management. And if you see the listing of sites, then you can click edit to see if you can get in there. And then then the next one is to go under quarterly and to make sure you can access those quarterly reports. Oh, great. Wonderful. I don't see. Okay. To make sure that they have the right role. Okay, Eileen. Okay, we had one other person, Eileen, with the same situation, so I do have that into my programmer, so let me, I'll make a special note and to get back to you on that as well. Okay, Chelsea's typing in real quick. And then, okay, so far good. And so for Eileen, you're talking about the site administration. You have an IWDS site, and then, okay, the only thing it shows is a red exclamation mark. Okay, well, we'll take a look at that. Okay. And then Jackie, Chelsea, did you just update her role, or is that something that she already had? And then the other thing, I guess, would be to check to make sure that there aren't accidentally multiple accounts. Oh, sorry, like that. Okay. So Jackie, if you could just let us know what username you're using to log into your account, and then that will help us troubleshoot it. Okay? So let me do one other thing, just a real quick check, because our goal is to make sure that everybody will be able to access their information today. So, okay. We're going to go ahead and take a look at our next steps. And then, thank you. And then if we have any, so we need to get back with Jackie and Eileen. Those are the two that we need to get back with that we know of for sure. If you, feel that if you need to get in touch with us and you haven't already, identified yourself today as needing assistance, we can always contact info@ as well, and we can help you out. Okay. So our goal is to make sure that everybody has access to the information that they need. And what we want to do is to make sure that your site information is updated in site management. That's really important because we need to make sure that we are sending people to the correct locations for the correct resources at the correct time and so forth. Then we want to make sure that you are able to, or that you have your resource room set up. If you happen to need, we have like, what are they called, web access or Illinois WorkNet partner decals that can be used on your window or your door. Then if you need one of those or a number of those, then please let us know. You can send it or your request to info@illinoisworknet.com, and we can make sure that you have those. We would like you to, for existing sites, those sites that were not recently added to IWDS, if you haven't already, go ahead and complete the quarterly report, and then go ahead and complete the quarterly reports as we move forward. For new locations, then go ahead and complete the report after January 1st, because the new reports are available at the beginning of the first day of each of the new reporting area or reporting period, and they're due by the 15th. So again, if you can complete those by the 15th, that's wonderful. Then everybody won't get a whole bunch of extra reminder emails. Many of you, if you haven't already, go ahead and complete the Certified Illinois WorkNet Advisor online course, and then you can become familiar with the different resources that are available in Illinois WorkNet. Also, if you're interested, there's a content management course, which will allow you to become a content management author for Illinois WorkNet. We also have tutorials that are available for you to take a look at, and it covers, the different types of assessments that are available within Illinois WorkNet, and how you access the results for those assessments, and how you can use customer groups to communicate with your customers via Illinois WorkNet. Okay, and we ask that you either follow us on our social media, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We do provide quite a bit of information about different resources that are coming out, update notifications, different training opportunities, and especially we'll be providing some mini feedback opportunities. We just recently released our LMI WorkNet Job Prep app, and when Sprint 2. So we have had webinars to collect feedback on Sprint 2. If you have to consider that for Sprint 2 or, as we move forward, Sprint 3. Also, we are, as I mentioned before, going to have a new redesigned LMI WorkNet website. I believe those changes will be pretty significant. Keep your ears open so that you have an opportunity to let us know what you think and what your suggestions are. Okay, so that is the end of our webinar as far as content is concerned. We will be getting back with those individuals that let us know that they are having okay, thank you. That are having a problem. We're going to look into those, and you should receive an email from us. If that's something that we're not able to duplicate, any type of error or problem that you might be having, then we'll be asking you we'll contact you, and then we can do a screen share so we can see exactly what you're seeing and help you out. I'd like to have a poster from IWDS. Okay, like what kind of poster? Are you talking about an LMI WorkNet poster, or are you talking about the LMI WorkNet partner, oh darn it, what's it called? Decal for your doors. The decal, LMI WorkNet? Okay. You can, the best way to contact us is, you'll hear from us, but the best way to contact us is with info@lmiworknet.com. And that way, if one of us is out of the office or in meetings all day, then you can contact us, and that website is monitored. Okay. Okay, well, with that, thank you, everyone. You have a wonderful day, and we look forward to working with you.